Boys in this house, yeah. Boys in this house, yeah. I said certified freak, 7 days a week. Wet ass P word, make that pullout game weak.
Boys in this house. It's actually whores in this house.
I know, but this is the gay version.
Mm-hmm.
It's the American Horror Story NYC.
We feel super
version.
gay after watching the first 2 episodes of the new American Horror Story season, because like basically every single character is a gay man except for like Billy Lord.
There's like
She's
3
a woman.
lesbians, but they're all basically the same character. They're like a 3-headed dragon.
Yeah.
And they
harass
people.
Gay, like the gay guy, the gay reporter.
They didn't get much screen time, but when they were on screen, it was electrifying.
Yeah, they were just like really mean and bitchy to one of the main characters.
Yeah, I always expect American Horror Story to be a little bit gay. Like they go hard with the gay stuff.
Extremely gay.
But this time they really pulled out all the stops, all the gay stops, and
Yeah.
we're only 2 episodes in, so I don't know like where it's gonna go from here, because it can't get much gayer, in my opinion. But I mean, I guess they have plans. I don't know. Maybe it'll get straight and then swing back around to being gay again.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. But yeah. So far, super gay.
Yeah, it like we were watching the first episode and it's like introducing all the characters, you know? And, you know, it starts off really gay, and then there's like, you know, a gay cop, and he's in a relationship
It
with...
starts off a little bit straight. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's like the pilot, and he's like checking into a hotel, and he gets propositioned by some woman, and she's like, hey, do you want to fuck or whatever, basically? And he's like, no, I'm married, and he shows his wedding ring.
He was like, and she's like, the wedding rings come off.
She's like, the cool thing about rings, they come off.
And she like takes her wedding ring off because apparently she's also married, and like just like a hoe.
Yeah, anyone who's a pilot or a flight attendant, super sus. just be really, you know, like they have lots of opportunity to fuck.
Yeah.
Like they all travel around,
And
you know, they get hotels all the time.
They spend
They see
like,
a lot of the same people in different states.
they spend long times like away from their spouse.
Right. It's like a trucker, like sus.
Yeah.
You know, if you marry a trucker, like you can't be surprised or a pilot, yeah, you can't be surprised that like they're getting blown by, you know, some guy at a truck stop. Like.
But yeah, so he was like, sorry, mine doesn't, like my wedding ring doesn't come off. And you know, you're kind of thinking at first, it's like, oh, like this guy's a good guy. Like, let's see what happens to him or who he's going to be. And then literally like next scene, it's him taking his wedding ring off.
Yeah, he gets into his hotel room, immediately starts getting into BDSM police bondage.
And then he goes to this like gay place, because apparently, okay, this is set in the 80s, and I had no idea like how completely wild like the gay community was back
Still
in the
is.
day. Like I just thought it was like nuts, because like nowadays it's like you can just go on Tinder or like Grindr or whatever and like meet up with people. But back in the day, they didn't have that. And you would just, like, how would you even know that these places, like, existed?
Gays just have, like, a really deadly combination of, like, testosterone and, like, masculine energy, plus a flair for the theatric.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, like, they're gay, but they're still men, you know? And men are, like, horny, and they're like, debaucherous, and they are perverts, basically.
Yeah, like, there's no women there to kind of like pump the brakes.
Yeah, right. It's just full on like hardcore gay sex.
Like
it's almost like all these people are just fucking obsessed with sex. Like there's nothing else in their lives. It's pretty one note. Like it's just some gay shit, like constantly.
Yeah, and then there's like this killer going around to all these like gay places and, you know, killing all these gay guys.
They call him number one, Big Daddy number one.
Yeah.
He's the gayest.
And then, so, yeah, there's, like, this gay cop.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah, he's like, investigating the gay murders.
Yeah, so far it's
And
like a kind of
then-
a police procedural. Like it's not.
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't,
like
it doesn't
a
even feel like an American Horror Story season.
Yeah, it's not. I kind of appreciate that it's not super gory, because like there was a scene at the very beginning where I thought for sure it was gonna get super like disgusting and gory.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they've had a few opportunities to show some like body horror with like, you know, like dudes putting their dicks into glory holes and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I thought for sure his dick was gonna get like cut off, but that would have been too easy.
Yeah, I
Like
suppose.
they're smarter than that. Like they're not gonna take the low hanging dick. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
maybe they'll save that for the later. Like maybe it'll, they got to ramp up.
Yeah,
So maybe this
and
is just
then-
like starts off a little cooler.
So yeah, the gay cop is with like the gay reporter. They have this kind of like complicated relationship because like the reporter like wants to like, you know, report on all these like gay like murders happening.
It's so funny
and
because
like
like
call attention to it.
this cop is like he's not out of the closet. Like he just left his wife because he's gay, and he's like with this reporter, and they're lovers, but he doesn't want to tell the police force that he's gay because he'll get like ostracized. But this like reporter he's dating like is always trying to get him to give him a scoop.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, stop harassing this guy. Like he's going through a tough time right now. Like, are you just dating him to get scoops?
he's also like a cop. I'm sure he's like not supposed
Yeah,
to.
legally you're not even supposed to discuss an ongoing case with like civilians.
Yeah.
Like stop her like and then they were having this fight. I'm like, why are they dating? Like like it just
Yeah.
seems like a really like you know, tumultuous.
Yeah, the reporter even like said that like during the fight. He
Yeah.
was like, "Why am I even with you?" It's like,
Yeah, why?
oh, like so cuz you're just with him because you want like some scoop or whatever. Like
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how like gay relationships work.
the cop is also just like a billion times hotter than like the reporter. Like I'm like
Yeah.
looking at them, I'm just like, do gay people just typically not like date like in their league? Like, is there like one that's like way hotter than the other often?
I guess it depends. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you think straight people, it's more like they kind of date within their league, I'd say, typically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess when you're gay,
There's like less options.
I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know if this show's super reflective of the actual gay community.
Well, yeah.
I'd have to ask my grandpa.
And then there was like,
My grandpa's gay, guys. I don't know if you guys knew that. My grandpa Bill.
mm-hmm.
He's been gay his whole life, but he kind of had a revelation after he had my mom, with my grandma, and then they broke up when my mom was like in her early teens, and this was all kind of like in the 80s, so it's kind of the same time period as the
Yeah,
show.
that's true.
So it's kind of interesting. It makes me think about my because this cop is like leaving his wife and they don't have a kid together, but
That
it
was
just kind of makes me think about my grandpa and his relationships and my grandma and my family history. But
that's probably like a really common thing. It's like not so common anymore because it's not so like taboo to be gay. So you can kind of just like skip the whole like, oh, I have to marry a woman to be normal.
It's way more normalized now. Thank God.
So like
Yeah.
that was probably like a big thing in the like 70s and 80s when
Also way less hot now to be gay.
like the gay acceptance kind of like was on the rise, but not quite like, but still taboo.
Yeah, it's like these cops in the show too, like sure there's like, definitely like people who hate gay people, vehemently to this day, but the cops in the show are almost like comically like inspired to hate gay people. And it's like they have no other personality.
Well, yeah, like because it's like all these like murders are happening, but because it's kind of like they're obviously gay, like they find the bodies like in
Like
these, like
would the
gay
cops really not
places.
investigate it at all? Like
Well-
there's like a serial killer like loose in their city. Like you'd think some, even if you don't like gay people, you'd be like, I want to catch this killer because I'm a cop.
Yeah.
Like wouldn't that make your like career like good? Like wouldn't that make you look good if you caught a serial killer?
Yeah.
There's other motivations besides just like helping the gay people. You don't want killers running around your city. They
Well-
could also kill straight people. Like, you know what I mean? Like if we can catch them, like try a little bit.
Well,
I don't know. It
think
could have been like
the
a little bit more nuanced.
I think like the idea is like that it's like just people who aren't like as like valued in society are easy to kill and get away with it
Right.
because the cops won't investigate it.
Yeah.
It's like how like being a hooker is like so dangerous because like, you know, it's like
We got another dead hole by the docks.
yeah.
Are we gonna do anything about it, Chief? Nah. We don't like whores around here.
Yeah.
We don't like gays, Hispanics, or whores. We're not investigating any of these crimes. We're only investigating white crimes. Crimes are done to white people. I mean, there's an element of truth to that for sure, but I just feel like maybe the point could have been not so hammered in so hard.
I like this. I feel like I really liked the first episode, like the very first episode. Like this is like a common thing for me with like any TV show, really, like most shows, is that like I always think the first episode like slaps. And I'm like, oh my God, that was so good. Like, this is such a good idea to watch it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'll watch the next episode and it's, like, not as good. And, like, I feel like, and it's like, you know, I guess I'll keep watching it, but, like, it's not, like, super great. Like, I just felt like that way, like, last night when we were watching this, like, the first episode, like, setting everything up, like, kind of like, oh, this is so interesting. Like, these dynamics, these characters, like, are so cool. Like, oh, let's see where this goes. And then it's just, like, it like, immediately, like, falls off, like, episode 2.
I mean, I'm still excited to, like, finish the season. I think it's a good premise for a season. I really wasn't sure like what the angle was at all. Like I knew it took place in New York and it was called NYC, but I wasn't sure what the vibe was because all the promotional material was just like bondage and like leather daddies and stuff. Like like really quick flashes and cuts, and I was like, okay, but like what's the actual? I didn't do much digging into like what the hell is actually going to be going on. So it was kind of a nice surprise, like how it's more restrained than other seasons. It's kind of more of a police procedural, and there's like a mystery, but then they sort of overplay their hand a little bit early, whereas like you're kind of interested in finding out who the killer is and like what's going on, and they kind of show all their cards like up front. So I feel like in the first 2 episodes, so I feel like they're gonna have to introduce some new elements to like make things more scary or kind of to switch it up, but it's almost like they're running out of story like right on episode 2.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because the first episode was definitely a lot more engaging because you're like being introduced to the characters, and now like we've already been introduced to all the characters.
And
basically.
there's like this other gay couple who is like a photographer, and then I guess this other guy, like Zachary Quinto, is like this like porn producer, like this gay porn
He's like
producer,
an entrepreneur, provocateur, porn man.
And then his boyfriend is like this like young like photographer, and like he kind of like like when we first meet this guy, we meet just like the boyfriend, like the younger guy, and he's kind of like super like confident and suave, and like it just seems like his whole like apartment is like just like really, I don't know how to describe it, just like super catered like towards like this like vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like your
Just,
classic
like,
New York
aesthetic.
photographer.
And you know, he's super confident, whatever, and like he just has this like super like strong like essence and vibe. And then like and then kind of like we hear like he's talking to this other character who's also a gay guy who's like looking for his friend who is like someone who got like murdered by the serial killer. We're like just spoiling the whole show, but like
follow along, watch the show.
Right when you hear like the door open to like the apartment, like you can hear, and then his boyfriend Zachary Quinto is coming in. His whole vibe like changes, and he like kind of like shuts down and gets really weird.
Well, he subs up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
when Zachary Quinto's like not there, he's like, you know,
The dominant one.
yeah. And then like right when his like older like Zachary Quinto boyfriend comes in, he kind of gets like all weird. And,
Zachary
like,
Quinto comes in looking like fuck that one actor. He's in like he plays the Punisher in the Netflix Punisher. He was in Wolf of Wall Street. What's that guy's name? You guys know who I'm talking about. Fuck, it's gonna come to me later. But you know how that guy's always like macho, you know, kind of throwing his weight around, you know, local businessman type. He's got the big belt buckle. He's got kind of like the open like shirt, and he's just like, you know, he might have like a pair of sunglasses, and he's got the slick back hair, and you can tell, you know, he's like a mover and shaker. You know, he's a pillar of the community of the gay community, but he's also like a fucking psycho.
Well, he's kind of like this, like, scheming kind of like he's
always got a scheme or two going.
He's trying I think like
I love him.
I'm pretty sure
he's like one of my favorite characters.
I'm pretty sure he's like this like gay porn producer, and back in the day like porn was like not like it was hard to come by, like, you know what I mean, like fewer people did porn. It was like, you know, you couldn't just like take a picture and like upload it onto the internet. You didn't have OnlyFans or whatever.
John Berthenol. Shane from The Walking Dead. You know this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had the same energy and vibe as that guy. Zachary Quinto's like channeling this guy's energy.
And so like he's kind of like aggressive about like getting these guys to like shoot these like nude like images and stuff. It's
so funny. Like I just can't, like, gay shit just is like so funny to me. I don't know why, like I find it hilarious. Like maybe it's because I'm like partly gay or something. I don't know like what it is, but it just never ceases to make me laugh. Like when Zachary Quinto's doing his whole like, you know, confident businessman porn producer shtick, I'm just like, this is fucking hilarious. Yeah. It's like everyone's playing dress up. It's like they're all theater kids. Mm-hmm. Like I can't take anyone seriously. Like it's hard to take anyone seriously. Like it's just so funny. But yeah, they introduce like the killer, and he like abducts the newspaper man, and is gonna kill him, but then he realizes he's got a tattoo from when he was in the service. I guess he probably was a nom, and he's like, oh, I can't kill another member of the armed services, so he lets him go. And then it's revealed that the big leather daddy, Big Daddy #1, is like working with Zachary Quinto, but that's like a different guy. So there's like two killers, and Zachary Quinto's like associated with one of them. It was just a barrage of gayness.
Yeah, it's just incredibly gay. Like it doesn't let up. Like it's just gay. Like every single character is gay. The only time it lets up is when Billy Lord is on the screen.
I want to like tie Sean down and like force him to watch this show just to see his reaction, because he hates shit like this. Like when shit gets really gay, Sean gets really uncomfortable. And it's so funny.
That's so funny.
He would never watch the show. He would like watch the first 10 minutes or first 5 minutes and just be like, no, I can't.
That's hilarious.
But we don't live in California anymore, so we can't. I miss Sean. Where's Sean? Where is he? Where in the world is Sean Willits? Haven't seen him. Hasn't been around. Hasn't come to St. Louis. That's for sure. But yeah, next time I see Sean, I'm going to try to get him to watch this, like the first episode, and just because I just love seeing his reaction to gay shit. It's so funny. But yeah, you know, I'm excited for the next episode. So far, it's not, you know, blowing me out of the water, but it's not terrible. Like, wasn't the last season like really bad? Yeah.
Yeah, the last season was bad.
The last season was like dull.
We were talking about like all of our favorite American Horror Story seasons, and they really just like hit it out of the park like right away with season 1, and like they've never really done anything as good as that.
That one was like the most like I don't want to say restrained, because it wasn't restrained. Like it was pretty like edgy and crazy, but it had the most like sense of direction. Like it had the most focus. I feel like all the other seasons, like even the good ones, they kind of like meander and like lose track of like what's going on with like the narrative. But I still really like the vibes of a lot of them. I think my favorite season was #1, but I also liked Coven. Coven was pretty cool. Which one's your like second favorite season?
Yeah, I guess Coven. I don't remember all of them.
There's Asylum. That was the second season.
Asylum was weird. They like had a lot of like crazy like elements.
Yeah, I remember liking Asylum, but I haven't revisited it in like a long time. I'm pretty sure I've watched the first season a couple times, like maybe 2 or 3 times total. Coven was good. Freak Show, I remember liking Freak Show. Hotel is really when it was like started getting just kind of like dopey, like kind of just stupid. I was like, this is kind of a dumb season.
Yeah.
Like it started off strong, Hotel.
They just have too much going on.
Yeah, a lot of times they have too much going on.
Yeah, it's just can you like
focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's the main idea here? Because there's like small ideas that I like in Hotel, but then they like don't go anywhere, or they're kind of like resolved or not even brought up again. And then Roanoke. I didn't like Roanoke.
I don't even remember Roanoke.
That was the one where they like have like the hidden cameras,
Oh,
and then they go to like some house, and like there's like a TV producer, and he's like producing a show.
That would have been like a cool concept because it's called American Horror Story. That's the thing, is like I like when they like bring in things that are kind of like uniquely American.
Yeah.
And like the whole like Roanoke situation like in history is like it is like kind of the first like American like mystery.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's spooky.
Just like this whole colony of like, British people coming to America just like disappeared. Like that's like spooky.
Yeah.
Like that's like a cool idea, but yeah, they like screwed it up. It would have been cool if it was all just like people like pilgrims. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it kind of just like, they made up some story about like what happened and like why the whole colony was missing.
Yeah. What's the name of the actress who plays Constance? She's so good.
Yeah.
What's her?
Jessica Lange.
Jessica Lange.
Uh-huh.
Is she just not in the show anymore? Because I don't remember her. What was the last season she was in?
I think she was in season 4.
Yeah, she was in Freak Show. Was she in any other one?
The thing is that
I miss her.
Me too. The thing is like,
if she was in NYC, I think I would like it a lot better. They just need some other like element to break up all the gayness.
Yeah.
Like it's just like gay guy after gay guy.
And it's pretty much all like brand new actors.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot
except for Billy Lord and Zachary
actors.
Quinto.
Billy Lord has like a total of like 2 scenes across like the 2 episodes that we watched.
Yeah.
And she's like investigating something that's completely separate from like what's going on.
Well, maybe it's not completely separate. We'll figure it out.
There's some sort of disease happening that's killing animals, and it's like jumping to humans, and it's like that's a cool angle because we just went through this whole COVID pandemic. So it's kind of like I like that they're playing on the fear of, biology and disease. I think that's really smart, but that was given hardly any attention. So yeah, hopefully it'll develop into something bigger and Billy Lord has more to do. But yeah, I mean, I like the new season so far. I just think it could use a little bit of variety. It's kind of one note so far.
Yeah.
Zachary Quinto's not like the best actor ever.
They just need to like, I just almost feel like they shouldn't even like do seasons if like Jessica Lange and like Evan Peters and like, like the main people from like the first like few seasons like aren't gonna be in it. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's always been an anthology, but yeah, I feel you. Like, you got to get your Sarah Paulson in there.
Yeah, Sarah Paulson.
You gotta get your Lily Rabe, or
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
even throw in an Emma Roberts, somewhere.
You can't just have like mostly new people be like the main characters, in my opinion. Yeah, because that's like a big reason why I always was like watch the new season.
Where's Cody Fern in this season?
Cody Fern.
Like, he needs to be in it. It's all about gay guys.
Yeah.
He'd be perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah, Cody Fern's awesome. I want to see him in more stuff. I don't know what. I thought after. What was the first season he was in? Was he in Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
Apocalypse was weird too.
Yeah, that was when I was first introduced to Cody Fern, and like I was like, this guy's going to be huge. He's going to be in movies, and I feel like he hasn't really been in anything that I've noticed, or he's probably been in stuff I just haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of thought he'd be like more of a breakout big deal.
Colt was a good season.
Colt was good. Yeah, that had like a nice like singular focus on like one type of thing.
Yeah, like it's like a cult.
Yeah, like Evan Peters is like a strong lead. I think he can handle obviously like the what would you call it? The lead of a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah, the seasons with more focus are typically better. Apocalypse was kind of all over the place. Sometimes like the seasons can feel like kind of cheap. Like Apocalypse felt kind of cheap to me. But I really like 1984. I thought the whole 1984 like
what even happened in Colt? I'm trying to remember.
Vibe
like
was cool.
It was like Evan Peters, and then his Billy Lord was like his sister. I remember it was like really political.
Yeah, it kind of played on like political fears.
And like Evan
like
Peters,
it starts out like I think Trump gets elected.
Yeah, right? He was like
Sarah Paulson's
really
like a leftist, and she's like flipping her shit. Like
he was like really
terrified.
into like Trump, right? And then like Billy Lord was like against it or whatever. And then like the night that like Trump won, they had like some scene together. But then like there was like a lesbian couple who had like a son that Billy Lord started babysitting or something.
Right.
Did they get involved in the cult? Like the lesbian couple?
You know, I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
You know, I remember liking the season overall.
And I remember like the lesbian couple got into like a big fight because like I think like Sarah Paulson like didn't vote for Hillary or something. Like she voted for like third party. And then like her wife was like super pissed at her. She's like, "You lost us the election."
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, I feel like NYC has some potential, but I'm wary. I'm like,
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, because overall, I like the whole show. I hope they don't end it. Like, I hope they keep going, because like it's a really mixed bag. Like, just when you think like, oh, they've had a couple stinker seasons in a row, like they hit you with like a really good season, and you're like, oh, okay, there's still like life and passion behind this show and imagination.
I'm really excited for the last episode of House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
So soon. What the flippity flop is gonna happen?
It's gonna be crazy.
I was getting like chills like the last episode. Like it was crazy.
Did we talk about it?
I don't think
we've talked about it yet. Yeah, it all takes place in King's Landing, kind of like the High Tower episode.
Yeah, like it was like after Viserys like just died, and then it was all just about kind of like Alicent and like her dad and like all of them, like their kind of side of the family's like reaction.
People were pissed that Matt Smith wasn't even in it.
I know. I saw a comment and this girl was literally like, "I just wasted an hour of my life." It's like, so okay, so you're not watching the show for the plot like at all. Like you literally are just here just for Matt Smith.
The plot serves Matt Smith and puts him in situations that are hot.
Yeah.
That's the only thing she's getting out of the show.
It's like you can't just like if you're only watching it just for Matt Smith, like couldn't you just like easily just like skipped all his scenes?
Yeah, but I think you need to understand this situation so when Matt Smith makes decisions, they're motivated and it feels like
she just thought that it was like wasted. Like she just completely wasted.
But if he's not in an episode, like that's gonna piss off some fangirls for sure. I don't know if that was the wisest decision. But yeah, apparently Olivia Cook's last episode of the season.
I know. I saw that. I thought that would be like a spoiler. Like I thought she would have died in this episode, but then she didn't.
Alyssa got like spoiled on Instagram like an hour before we watched the show.
I know. Like literally like we
The show
watch
came
it.
out
We watch
that
it
night. Yeah.
right when we can. We don't lollygag. It's not like we skip. We'll watch it tomorrow night. Like no, like we watch it like immediately.
Yeah, we like
when we get the opportunity.
we're looking forward to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting
like
hooked
right
up
when
on
we
Crumble.
put the kids to bed.
Yeah,
Like we're watching it. So it's like crazy to me that I like get spoiled for it.
you just can't even go on Instagram.
But I guess it wasn't really that big of a spoiler because she like didn't die. I guess like that could have just been knowledge that you gained, just like by listening to interviews or something.
We should go on like the American Horror Story like Reddit page and look at memes and stuff. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
We never go on like Reddit. We should go on Reddit and look at like House of the Dragon page.
We look at like House of the Dragon memes all the time on like social media.
Just on Instagram though.
Yeah.
We don't like. I feel like Reddit's like a like the source of like memes and stuff. Like everything kind of originates on Reddit and then trickles down through Instagram and Twitter and the other social media platforms. But yeah, I think American Horror Story is like a cool show.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Overall, I think it's a dope show. I think I like the intention behind it. I like that there's something spooky to look forward to every year at the end of the year. Like, if we didn't have American Horror Story, I don't know. I would feel kind of like gypped. Like I've grown so accustomed to it. First season came out in 2011, and it's been with me for like, over a decade now.
I remember I would like watch it when I was like in high school, and I would get like so scared. It would like really scare me. Like I don't like scary things, but I would just watch it because I was like, I was a fan of the first season.
I wish I could still get scared. I feel like no movie has scared me since I was like a kid.
That's awesome.
I don't know. Like I kind of miss it. Like I wish something really. I actually did watch a movie that was pretty scary recently called Threads.
I don't even want to talk about that.
And that's probably the most scary movie I've seen in a long time. But it wasn't like your typical like slasher horror movie. It was like it's about nuclear war. So it's more like real life scary.
We watched this movie called Dark Places the other day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was like not good. I like wasn't.
It was
into
okay.
It. Like Forrest was describing it to me, and I agreed to watch it, and like I was just not impressed with it. It was like not good. Very
well.
It was honestly like very boring. I was like not into it.
Damn, it wasn't that bad, was it?
I thought it was like super slow. Like I was like not engaged at all.
Well, it's based on a book by Gillian Flynn. She's the writer of
I'm sure the book is probably good,
Gone Girl,
but the movie was bad.
and she's also written 2 other books.
Gone Girl was really good. The movie Gone Girl.
Yeah, Gone Girl, was a best-selling novel. Got film optioned. People wanted to make it into a movie. David Fincher was attached to it, and then after the success of the movie, I think all her stuff, all her past work was like, oh, like we gotta make movies of this. So they made Dark Places, and they also made Sharp Objects into a TV show, into an HBO show with Amy Adams. And I never finished the show because her books are basically like perfect for like a movie. Like her books are I've read all of them, and they're very pulpy. They're very like kind of simple plot, but a bunch of good twists and turns. That's kind of what she's known for, is like her twists. So you read them, it's like airport lit. Like it's a good, entertaining book. But if you try to stretch it out into a 10-episode arc, it's like, this is going to be dull. And yeah,
Dark Places was like a 2-hour like movie.
Obviously, David Fincher's like a master director, and he's really good at suspense, and he knows how to adapt that kind of material. If he had adapted Dark Places, and not this like random French guy, I think it would have been really, really good.
It was just like
the bones of the story are there because the book is really tense.
Like they were like it because it's like a mystery kind of, it's like and they would drop like little like the hints and stuff that would like lead back to explaining what happened at the end or whatever, like after like the mystery is like revealed. It kind of like you know, make sense, I guess, but it was like bad. And like the big twist, you know, like who killed these people, like the mystery, I just thought it was like very like uneventful and like weird. And it's like, I don't know, I wasn't into it. Like it was like two killers instead of just one.
Well, don't spoil it for everybody, babe.
Okay, well, whatever.
You
It
already
was
spoiled
bad.
it.
Don't watch it. It's
Well, read the
stupid.
book.
Okay.
The book is good. The book's really good, and it's a quick read too. They're not like thick books, you know. Like they're fun, you know, reads. You can knock them out in a few hours. Gone Girl
I like how we
is
can just
probably
like
her best.
spoil American Horror Story, but we can't.
Sharp
but
Objects
we
was
can't
good.
spoil.
Well,
Like American
the thing
Horror
is,
Story is like actively coming out, and it's like new.
it
This
doesn't
movie has been out for a while.
it doesn't matter when it came out. American Horror Story has way more attention to it. People who are like gonna watch it are probably gonna watch it, and I probably have watched it. People who aren't gonna watch it probably aren't gonna watch it. This is like something that most people probably haven't heard of. You
It's
know what I
just
mean?
like, okay, so is it the same killer in the book as it is in the movie?
Yeah.
It's just like absolutely ridiculous. It's just like it's so like
Alyssa's pissed.
it's just like,
Her time was wasted.
can I just like, can we talk about it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Like one
Spoiler
okay,
alert
one,
for Dark
I'll
Places,
just say,
the novel and the
okay,
movie.
yeah, this is big time spoilers, okay.
You're not gonna watch it. It's fine. You're not gonna read the book, so whatever. Who
One
cares?
of the killers is the 17-year-old girl, okay? And I just like don't buy that this like 17-year-old girl is like this insane and this like just straight up like evil. Like it's just like they just made this like 17-year-old girl just like absolutely off her rocker, insane, psycho, sadistic murderer. And
Right.
I just like don't buy it. It's just really weird to me, like, because
Yeah.
like the whole thing, it's like it takes place like kind of like in the 80s, like when there was kind of like the satanic like scare and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like they blame, so this family dies, this mom and then two kids die, and there's two other kids. There's like a teenage brother and then like a little like 8-year-old girl. And they blame the brother, like the teenage brother, for the murder of the mom and the two other kids.
Yeah, he gets pinned with the crime.
And they say that it's like, oh, because he's like into satanic rituals and stuff or whatever. And like, I just think that it would have, but really it was his girlfriend who did it, or who killed one of the kids. And then there was like this other man who killed the mom and the other kid, whatever. But like, I just kind of think it would be the kind of direction that I thought it would take, that I think it would have been like better, is like kind of taking teenagers who may have been kind of like into Satanism and like thought it was kind of cool and edgy, like, oh, like, yeah, like I'm a Satanist or whatever, and like wearing all black and like, you know, like listening to like this rock music. Like if like when things actually like start getting intense and like they like, you know, like if like they were confronted with like violence or something, to actually be like squeamish.
Right.
And to be like, oh, never mind, like I'm not into this, like, you know what I mean, like I'm not as like hardcore as I wanted to like portray myself.
Yeah.
But like they don't, it's like this girl is just like a full-on like,
well, that's
insane,
basically what they
like,
do with
Satanist.
the brother, and that's what they do with the Native American kid.
Yeah,
Like they're both really not actually like that into it. They're just like trying to be edgy, but she is like actually insane.
And then another element of this is like another reason why he was blamed for the murder is because this little girl, or this like, okay, so he's like 16 and then this like 11-year-old basically has a big crush on him, and then like they like kiss, and then he is like weirded out by it and is like, no, never mind, like that was really weird, like we can't hang out anymore or whatever. And then like she flips out and like basically like lies and like tells everybody that he like basically raped her and like performed like satanic rituals like on her or whatever. And like so that was like another reason why people just like assumed that he killed his sister and his mom, because they were like, oh, he like has a history of like, you know, violence and like satanism or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like so let me get this straight, like this guy somehow is like romantically involved with like these two just like insane like girls. Like this like 11-year-old like just straight up like
That's kind of like a
lies.
trademark of Gillian Flynn. Like every novel she writes like is about like an insane girl or girls.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, you know, comes with the territory, I feel like.
Like I just feel like this guy just has to be like the most like unlucky dude ever.
Yeah, literally, exactly. Yeah,
Like,
he got pinned like bad with this
Yeah.
crime. Like the deck was truly stacked against him. Like,
and then he impregnates the 17-year-old girl, and then like she's like having his baby or whatever, and like that's like and then he basically just takes the blame and just like accepts his fate of like going to life in prison, because he says he wants to protect his baby. And the thing is like that just doesn't really add up for me either, because it's like, if so you have a baby with this crazy woman, this crazy girl, wouldn't you want to raise the baby yourself and to like make sure that this girl like doesn't?
well, he was a kid. He wasn't making like good decisions.
But like it's not like the baby's gonna go to jail. Like the baby's literally a fetus at
I know,
this
but
point.
he just thought he was doing the right thing when he was a kid. But like he obviously fucked up. Like he should have been like, yeah, you know, she actually killed my sister, but there's also like no physical evidence of that. Like there's no way to prove that. So he probably wouldn't have gotten custody of the kid. He probably still would have, you know, got sent up the river.
I mean, it's like there's no evidence, but there's not evidence that he killed them either.
Well, the evidence
Because he didn't.
is that he had, you know, he was there. He was covered in blood. He's got fingerprints, you know.
Well, her fingerprints would be on the sister's neck.
I don't think fingerprints go on necks, or it would be really difficult to pull a print from the neck.
Well, her prints would be all over the house too, because she was there too. I don't know. It just didn't really add up for me.
I want to reread the book because I remember when I read the book, I really liked it, and then I watched the movie immediately after the book, and then I think I was probably high on the book, and I just was like, oh, this is a cool like adaptation. It's cool to see like this stuff like visualized and realized, and Charlize Theron's in it, and she's you know a good actress. She's got the Karen cut the whole movie. She looks pretty awful.
Yeah,
But-
she did a good job.
But yeah, like, and then yeah, you got your boys in it. What's his name?
yeah, that's how Forrest marketed this movie.
That's how I
to
pitched
me.
it to her.
He was like, "Your boyfriend's in it."
What's his name? Evan Peters?
No.
Chris Hansen?
Chris
John
Hansen-
Travolta?
Chris Hansen's like the guy who does like he's like a
He needed to be
reporter.
brought in on this movie.
Why
don't you take a seat?
Nicholas.
Nicholas Winding Refn.
What?
Nicholas Holt.
Nicholas Holt.
Yeah, so your boy's in it.
And he was barely in it. And
The thing is, I started the movie the other night because I was just like on HBO Max looking for something spooky. And it's been years since I saw the movie. I started watching it and I was like, this is pretty good. Like, maybe I should pause it and wait for Alyssa. She might want to see this. But I didn't. Yeah, I should have like previewed the movie more.
I just
It
feel like-
really kind of falls off.
I feel like Nicholas Holt was like barely in it, and his character was like weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was in it at the beginning, and then they really didn't give much to do after that. And yeah, so, and then Charlize Theron is like, she's like wearing this like trucker hat the whole movie.
Well,
she looks terrible.
She like, I mean, I kind of give her a pass for how she looks in this movie, because she's like this like traumatized. Because listen, she's like the only surviving member of her family who got like murdered in this like massacre.
Yeah, but you don't need to wear a trucker hat
her
the entire
brother.
time.
I just feel like they could have done it better and like given like more of like an emotional arc between her and her brother. And I don't know, it was just so flat. It was just like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Like there was no like, I don't know. I just wasn't impressed with this movie at all, really.
Yeah, I mean,
And then I just feel like,
I think Mike Flanagan would have been a good like director. He would have adapted the material well.
and I also just feel like Chloe Grace, is that her name?
Yeah.
Like she plays the crazy girl, like the crazy murderer girl. I just feel like she is just like that. She's just like playing herself. Like, you know what I mean? I just
She's
feel
not
like
the best actress.
she's always just like the same type of girl in every show that she's in.
Yeah.
She's always just like I mean, she's not like always like a crazy murderer.
When they made the movie, she was like, you know, her star was rising, and yeah, she kind of got cast off that, and it's like, but she's really probably not the best actress for the role. Like, I think a better actress could have sold that like turn a little bit better, but yeah, she's really like kind of one.
She always just plays like the crazy, kooky, quirky, like.
Does she?
I feel like she does. I don't know. Like she always just like. I just feel like I've like seen.
She played
that
Carrie
vibe
in that like really terrible Carrie remake.
Yeah.
Like she got popular off of Kick-Ass, and then like they just put her in like everything.
I just feel like she reminded me of her character in Kick-Ass, like in this movie, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. She kind of plays like I don't know. Yeah, and what else? Yeah, she doesn't really like. I don't know. Yeah, she's just not the best actress. Like some people just aren't. You know, they're not that great at acting, but they're like famous and they're actors, and you could tell she was kind of cast for like to get asses in seats, not necessarily for her like skill or talent. You know, a different actress maybe could have made that like twisted kind of girlfriend angle work more. She just seems like a little bit too nice. Like you don't really buy it.
Yeah, exactly. I just like didn't buy it. I was just like,
you got to get like an evil looking chick for like a role like that, where she's got like an evil glint in her eye, where you can be like, oh shit, this chick's crazy. But Chloe Grace Moretz doesn't really have that. You know, Mike Flanagan, he did like The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
I think he would have been a good director to adapt the material, because I swear the book's good. I want to reread the book because like that movie left a bad taste in my mouth. Like they did not adapt it well. It kind of just ends too. Like once the mystery's resolved,
exactly.
they're just like, oh, all right, the movie's over. It's like they couldn't wait to finish the movie. Like
exactly. Yeah, that's how I felt too.
It's like, is there no wrap up? We're not gonna get like a scene with Nicholas Hoult talking about it with his like crime friends or
like we
nothing?
didn't even see like Charlize Theron being like reunited with her brother.
Yeah, we don't get like them
that
reuniting.
would have been cool because it's like, I don't know, like I felt like in the beginning we kind of got some scenes with them as like kids.
Yeah.
Of them kind of being each other's like favorite sibling. Like you kind of saw their like relationship.
They needed to play up that relationship more in the movie for it to work. That was like the emotional core.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Corey Stoll plays the older brother, the older version of the brother, and he's always really good. I love Corey Stoll. So they had a lot of good actors.
He was cool. Like he kind of had a good scene when she was like visiting him in prison, and like he was like, you know, like really like nice to her and like sweet to her and like really happy to see her or whatever. And then like he was just like, yeah, like I never like blamed you or whatever, because like she like basically like said that she saw him murder everyone when like she didn't.
Yeah, the cops kind of like coerced her into like just giving a confession or just giving a statement that she saw him do it. And
like he like was like, oh, like I never blamed you, like I totally understand, like, you know, you were just like a kid. Like
I want to show you Sharp Objects because like I feel
like we watched a little bit of Sharp Objects.
The way they adapted it was cool. It's just like really like stretched out. Like I think there's like 10 episodes or something, and I watched like half of them, and I just kind of like lost interest because I already read the book and I already know what's going to happen. So I wasn't like super invested in like the plot necessarily, but like that was adapted better, I would say, probably. It's just in that show format. So we're probably not going to watch that. It's too slow.
Yeah,
it's too dry.
I'm just like, I just need my shows to be like
Yeah.
Wham!
It should have been a
wham,
movie.
Wham.
If they did Sharp Objects as a movie with Amy Adams, it probably would have slapped.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gillian Flynn hasn't done a new novel in like a long time. Like she needs to like. I used to follow her on Twitter, and she'd always be tweeting like stupid shit. And I'd be like, "When's the new book coming?" That's probably how people feel when they follow me on Twitter. Like I just tweet stupid shit, and they're like, "We don't care about this. Give us the Lego movie."
Yeah, like stop tweeting.
Yeah.
Like, go work.
Yeah, go work. Yeah, right. But I won't stop tweeting. I'll never stop. I need to tweet more, honestly. I hardly ever tweet. But I'm thinking like I need to post like one Instagram photo a day, and I need to post like one tweet a day. Just to keep my like social media like relevance up. Like cuz like the people I follow, like I like when they post, you know? So like I feel like I need to post more cuz like I need to be the change I want to see in the world. But yeah, it's just like I was on a pretty good streak with Instagram. I was posting like every day for a while, and I kind of fell off. But like, yeah, whenever I post, it gets engagement. So I feel like that's only a good thing. But yeah, it's like Gillian Flynn, like write a new book. Like they're not that long. Like she's a really good writer. Like she comes up with like really cool like scenarios and like ideas and like twists. She always writes these like crime books. I think so. She's done 3. But yeah, maybe you could like, I don't know. Because I want you to know, like what happens in Sharp Objects. I think you'd really like it. But we're not gonna watch that whole last show. But the twist in Sharp Objects is like, oh shit. Yeah. What have you read any good books recently?
I don't like I listen to Audible a lot.
Yeah.
And I haven't like read or listened to any like fiction
No fiction.
in like years probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I mostly listen to biographies.
I like nonfiction. I don't know. I'm weird.
Let's go through our list. Oh yeah, I started listening to Dune, but it was really well done. Like, but I wasn't really that captivated by it. Oh yeah, I started listening to Matthew McConaughey's Green Lights.
That one was silly.
And it's like a short ass book, but it was bad. It was not. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, we listened to The Handmaid's Tale a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Together. That was fun. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that. They like based the first season of the show on the book, and then after that, the show is kind of just doing its own thing. But the show's been really good, and I think they're in their last season right now, if I'm not mistaken. But the season's on right now, and it's been dope so far. Like, I'm super invested in all the characters, so I'm excited to see like what happens or how it all wraps up. Oh yeah, I listened to A Christmas Carol kind of recently by one Charles Dickens, and that guy, he knows how to fucking write books, dude. Like his writing, his prose, like it's good. Like who'd have thought? Like Charles Dickens, like good writer.
We watched like a movie about Charles Dickens writing A Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah.
And that's what like inspired you to go like listen to the book.
Yeah, right.
That was a good movie.
The Man Who Invented Christmas.
That was a good movie.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
The Man Who Invented Christmas? Something like that. And it's got like Liev Schreiber in the lead role. Or what? Is it Liev Schreiber or Zachary Quinto? Who is it?
It's not Zachary Quinto.
The Man Who Invented Christmas. I always forget this guy's name. He was the Beast in the Beasts movie. Dan Stevens. Yeah, he plays Charles Dickens. That was a good movie. It had a really Christmassy vibe.
Yeah, maybe we should watch that after Halloween.
Yeah. We've just been watching like a lot of like scary stuff, or I've been watching a lot of like horror movies and stuff recently because I'm trying to get in that like Halloween vibe, that spooky vibe and that spooky feel, which I love around this time of year, you know, during the fall. It's good to indulge in that kind of stuff because I've been working on this like Christmas video with Santa like every day, so my like vibes are kind of getting like polluted by all this Christmas stuff. I got Christmas songs in my head, and I'm like, no. There's plenty of time for that in November and December, you know. But I gotta get this video done, so I have it ready to go in December, and it's ready. It's ready. So you're playing Mrs. Claus. I'm playing Santa. Keshin plays Rudolph. It's an all-star cast. It's gonna be good. Man, yeah, that Charles Dickens, man. I just want to like listen to like more of his shit because he's like awesome. There's someone who knows how to fucking put some words on paper, make you feel emotions. You could read that new Hunger Game book by Suzanne Collins. She wrote a prequel. Not into it?
No, you're tickling my foot.
You're not into it though?
No.
Did you read all the Hunger Games?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. But you have no interest in her new one?
Not really.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fad for you when you were a teen.
Yeah.
But you're over it now?
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah, books are good, man. Books are they really do it for you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
When movies can't get the job done, books are always there. And books are cool because you can like really like kind of see your own version of the movie in your head. Like when everyone reads a book, there's like a lot left open to interpretation. So everyone sees like a different movie. But movies I feel like are like my sort of artistic medium of choice, just because you have complete control over the audience. Like you tell them how to feel.
I would
you
read
create
more books,
the entire environment.
But I don't know. I'm just like I just like what I don't know. I always listen to books like while I do other things. And I just feel like if I'm listening to like a fiction book, like I just like don't pay like enough attention. Like I need it to be pretty like straightforward.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I can't be like imagining like a whole nother world.
Yeah.
Like while I'm like in the middle of like doing something else.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like I kind of just need it to be like
You'd be surprised. I think you can multitask.
I can barely like multitask right now. I get really overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's just like there's nothing like a good book though. Like the feeling you get when you're like in the middle of like a hot story, and you're like, this is doing it for me.
I'm fading. I'm like really tired.
You're tired?
Yeah.
Why are you so tired? It's 11:30.
I have 2 kids.
I know, but it's 11:30.
And a newborn.
You're not usually tired at this time of night.
I just feel like my brain is just like...
It's all the crumble I got you earlier.
I haven't even eaten any of it yet.
You haven't eaten any of it?
I ate one like quarter of a cookie.
You're probably having a sugar crash.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
Well, we got to talk about something.
How much longer do we have?
I think we got to fill up like a few more minutes because we're at an hour right now. But remember, you left to go check on Linda for a couple minutes. So I'm gonna cut all that shit out, and that's gonna leave some time towards the end that we need to fill.
I mean, I'm not like fading like I'm tired necessarily. I'm just like fading as in like I'm like struggling to think about things to talk about, or like I'm struggling to think of like responses.
Yeah, you seem like you're over it. What's your favorite color?
Blue or green.
Why?
Green is like the color of like that's just like the color of like nature, and like trees are green.
Yeah.
Like blue is also kind of the color of nature. Like the ocean is blue and the sky is blue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just seems like they're just like really like vibrant and like fresh.
Yeah.
Feeling to them.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your favorite color?
I've really been digging like a dark green recently.
Yeah.
Like a kind of I don't know what you call it exactly. I want to get more into colors.
They just seem like the most like green and blue to me just seem like the most kind of like lively colors.
Yeah. Like I want to get more into like what colors are named, you know? Cuz people have like gone out of their way to like list every shade of color with its own name. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what you would call this type of green. I could be wrong, but I think it's called like Everest green or hunter green. It's kind of like a yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like a dark green color. Like the Lego brick. Whenever I think of color, I just think of Lego bricks.
I like to dress River in like all like blue and green. Like I honestly like if he's wearing anything other than blue or green, I feel like he just doesn't look as
Throws you off.
good. Because his eyes are super blue.
Yeah.
So like if he's wearing like blue or green or even gray, like dark gray is a good color on him. Like it really brings out his eyes.
Yeah, they haven't like changed to brown yet.
Yeah. Well, Luna has like green eyes.
They're like greenish brown.
Like hazel-y.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's just certain colors that I like on my kids, like way more than other colors. Like blues and greens are good for both of them.
Yeah.
And like Luna, I like really love when she wears pink.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just really and orange, like pink and orange are good colors for her. I just feel like it brings out
What's the worst color?
the orange brings out her like hair, like the redness in her hair.
Yeah.
And the pink brings out her like cheeks, her pink cheeks. And like her like she has really like red lips. So I feel like the pink and orange like brings out her like lips color too. The worst colors on them, probably like purple.
Yeah, purple isn't my favorite color. What about like a lime green?
Yeah,
Disgusting.
not really. That sounds bad.
Like a yellowish green? Ew.
Ew.
Yeah, don't.
It's just like fall right now, so like I like to embrace like the yellows and oranges and browns, but it's kind of just like that's just not what really like looks the best on like my like on like their colors. Like,
yeah, you got to go with your gut.
You know.
Yeah. Guys, sound off in the comments. What is your favorite color and why? Thanks for listening to this special episode of Just for Clicks.